The priesthood is the government of God. It establishes policy, procedure, and has the authority to perform the sacred ordinances of our Father in Heaven's kingdom. It has always existed and will always exist. And the Lord, in his great plan for his children on earth, wanted to have a period of time where they would have a probationary period so he'd find out what they were worth. So he established a way that they'd come to earth and have their agency. In order for him to keep the doctrine pure, the teaching pure for his people, he had to have a line of authority. The priesthood gives mankind the power to act as agents for the Lord on earth and performing his sacred ordinances and leading his church. An oath is an assertion of principle, and it's inviolate that the person can break it without breaking his word or his standing. So when the Lord makes an oath, he puts his whole reputation and feeling on that oath to be correct, and he'll live up to that oath. Now, a covenant is strictly agreement between two parties, the Lord on one side and man on the other side. So the oath comes by his putting his full weight behind it, his whole being, his whole power, and the covenant is that agreement between the two. My goodness, the Lord intended that in his organization. First, there was a patriarchal priesthood that was handed from father to son. And then he selected one prophet leader, Abraham, and gave him a very choice blessing, that through his lineage, all nations of the earth would be blessed. And what is that blessing? It comes through the priesthood line, through the descendants of Abraham, who would carry that priesthood to all nations of the earth. I should say not, and that's one of our problems. I think that we think it's a rite of passage of age. You have to be worthy to receive this, and they need to understand and read carefully the oath in the section 84 of the Doctrine and Covenants, because it specifically points out conditions that they must understand and agree to in order to accept the priesthood. But it's always interesting to me. Can I refer to the scriptures on this? I guess the 84th section is in this Doctrine and Covenants. When we get down to the 40th verse, therefore, all those who receive the priesthood receive it by an oath and covenant from the Father, which he cannot break. But whosoever breaketh this covenant, after he hath received it, and altogether turneth therefrom, shall not have forgiveness of sins in this world, nor in the world to come. That's pretty serious. Not forgiveness in this world or the world to come. But then, you'd think that people would shy away from it. But then the next one, it says, woe unto those who come not unto the priesthood. So you're caught both ways. You accept it, you live worthy of it, receive the blessings of the Lord. And if you turn from it, then woe unto those because they do not follow the order of the priesthood and receive the blessings, are becoming the elect of God on earth. Well, of course, the priesthood is led, the ward is led by the priesthood, by one who is ordained and given the keys to preside over a ward, which is the bishop. And he has that responsibility to lead the ward, to bless the ward with his keys that have been given to him by those holding the proper authority. So he exercises the priesthood in all that he does. It's unique in the church organization. They have the responsibility of seeing that the principles, the ordinances, the practices of the church are all followed out in accordance with the will of the Lord.